So a couple years ago, before I was making videos on YouTube, I was working on 5 cutting boards for customers. Technically, I was working on 2 cutting boards for customers. One for myself and a couple others. One of them went away to an auction. The one for me was never finished. I also changed my mind on what I wanted for one for my own. So right here I have a bunch of pieces of Padauk and maple that were cut into a brick pattern style cutting board. I'm just missing the part that goes in between. As you can see here, we got this part of the brick pattern, but I need the white to go this way. So now I got to cut end grain pieces of wood, maple, off of this. I have to split it in half because it's way too thick. I have to glue them together to make a panel that's as wide as those. Now, I don't need a lot. I literally could just glue a piece of this onto a smaller piece of this and then cut it in half, plane them down to the right thickness, and then I would have what I need. But first off, I have to figure out what I need or how much I need of that. So I'm going to do that. Once I get that figured out, I will get a piece cut off and I will start getting it milled down to size, glued, and ready for splitting in half so I can make the other parts I need for this and get this other cutting board. All right, I'm all set up. Got my mark. I'm going to line it up with the blade. I'm going to cut this off at 20 inches. And we're done with this. Six and a half. So now that I got it flat enough to ride the fence, I need to get rid of this. So it's at 6 inches from this edge. So I'm going to cut it at 6.5 inches, actually 6.5 inches from this edge. And then I will turn it around and I will cut this part off. So now I need to split it. And this board is just under 1 inch thick. I need a 1/4 inch on either side, so that gives me almost a 1/2 inch to play with. So if I set this up to 3/8, I think that would be fine. So what I need to do now is make a series of passes, raising the blade up. I will go through the blade, raise it up, and keep doing that. But I'm going to put a feather board on here to help keep it flat against the Okay, that's better. So now I'm going to turn the this on. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to flip it. I'll keep doing that until I get as far through it as I can, maintaining this as the side against the fence. And it's just that easy, boys and girls. So one of these is slightly bigger, or thicker I should say. This one. So it's going to go through first. As you can see, it's already almost in the right spot. Close enough for gluing. So I turn this over. I want to bead a glue down the middle of this. And then we're going to set some weight on it. And that should keep them level with each other, I hope. All right, let me put this back. So hi, that's it for about right now. I'll come out here in a half an hour, unclamp it, put it through the planer again to get it down to the 1/4 inch I need. And then I got to start cutting strips off it at the bandsaw to glue in between each one of these. So that's it for right now. We'll be back in a little bit. It's been about an hour. So I'm going to take the weight off this thing. I'm going to get it back over on the planer and plane it down to the 1/4 inch. A little rough, a couple passes through the planer and she'll be beautiful. All right, she's all planed down to a 1/4 inch, 20 inches long, and more than wide enough for this. Next, I get to cut it down into strips the same width as these. And then I get to glue them all up and the cutting board will be ready for finishing. Well, by finishing, I mean I will have to go through the processes of flattening it, sanding it, and all that. All right, we got it set up here to cut off the strips that I need. I need 11 of them. I already cut one as a test. 10 strips. Actually 11. So watch the brick pattern emerge. If I quit dropping stuff on the floor. On the spare. And there you can see almost a screwed up brick pattern. There. Big, small, big, small, big, small, big, small, big, small, big, small, big. Perfect. Okay. So this is ready to glue up. I probably should just cut those off to make them a little easier to glue up, but I don't have to. Just makes it a little easier. So I think I'll do that. All right, we are ready for glue up. I'll get set up for that and we'll come back down and glue that up in a few minutes. All right, I'm back in the shop. I'm going to glue up this cutting board and get it in clamps. I made this gluing jig a long time ago, just so I could glue up and keep things square. And that's clamped up and glued. So I'm going to try and clean off this side so it's flat. It's going to take a couple of paper towels to do this. All right, one last cleanup here. All right, so we're gonna let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow we'll come out here and we'll run them through the drum sander and get it all nice and flat, square. I will come out here in a little bit and I will unglue this from the, it'll glue itself to this. Even though I waxed it, it will stick. We'll take these loose. See if we can get this off of here. Not gonna come off that easy, huh? All right, let me get my scraper. It's still wet on this side. All right, I'm gonna let this sit overnight to dry. All right, I'm back in the shop. I'm going to get this thing out of clamps, and then we'll get it on the drum sander and get it sanded down. Let's get you set up. So it's been in clamps now overnight. It's not been quite 24 hours, but it should be fine. There it is. So by gluing it where I glued it, it's fairly flat. Yeah, very flat. So now we're going to get it through the drum sander. Let me get everything out of the way and the drum sander set up. All right, we got it raised up. I'm going to turn on the dust collection and start sending it. Now she is flat. We got to trim up the side here and the side over here on the table saw, and then it's off to a lot of sanding. All right, here we go. Just like that, we're done. And by done, I mean cutting stuff. Now, I have to sand it all the way to 320 grit, water pop it, sand it again to 320 grit, round over the edges, sand the edges, the ends, and we have a cutting board. super smooth. I mean, like running your hand on glass. Now I have to wet it, and that's going to raise the grain, and then I'll have to sand it again. I'll let it sit on those to dry. I'll let that dry for about 30 minutes. I'll come in here and then I will do the final sanding on it, and then it's off to oil. All right, now I've got it all water popped and it's all rough again, so I'm going to run the 220 over it, get it all smoothed out, and then it's ready for oil. All sanded, slippery. I mean, it's hard to hang on to it because it wants to slide. Gotta be careful there. All right, we're all done with the sanding and everything. I'm getting ready to oil it, but I gotta put the feet on first. Made this little jig. I'm drilling them at 7/8 inch from the corner. Come over here. That one's hard. Huh. Plugged up the drill bit. All right. So the screws are a little on the big side, a little long. So I got to fix that. I got to see if I have some stainless steel ones that are smaller. All right, I found some stainless steel screws. I think they'll work. Yeah, they'll work. So we're going to put this All right, we got those all installed. So the feet are installed. As you can see, top's ready for oil. I'm not going to film oil in it. I will just do that and take some beauty shots for the YouTube page. Anyway, if you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. And go ahead and share this with other people if you want. That gets more people to see my videos. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.